All right, I am excited to share with you the 16-hour CEO system. This is your new business operating system. This is where your content, your systems, and execution all come together so that your business can keep moving even if you don't. So the first thing that you're going to come to is the actual CEO dashboard. So this is going to give you guidance on what you should be doing for that day. So many people are spending time on tasks and activities that don't actually move the needle forward in their business. And that's why their income is inconsistent, or they're not making the money that they want, or attracting the opportunities or the clients that they want. So you're going to come and you're going to see the CEO dashboard first. It will have some power moves for you. So in this case, it's telling me I should create one core piece of content today, run it through the content multiplier, and then turn that into 5 to 10 assets. Use my AI employees to support where needed, and refine one piece of messaging. It also gives you a CEO focus snapshot. So we're going to go to that in a second. But essentially what that's going to do is tell me exactly what I should be doing, customized to hit my revenue priorities. So next thing is your weekly revenue goal. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out so you can see what it looks like. And this is just a little sample of what it can be for you in your business. This is going to shape your daily priorities and your activity tracking. So weekly revenue goal, let's just go with 3,000. Offer I'm selling this week. I am selling the 16-hour CEO. Main lead source, I'm going to say email, ads, Facebook. Actively promoting something, yes. And hours available this week. So let's do 10 hours or less, since this is the 16-hour CEO. But you can choose here, if you are working more hours, how many hours you have available. And it's going to generate a weekly revenue plan for me. Okay, so here is my plan to hit $3,000 from sales of the 16-hour CEO. It tells me exactly what I should do, my 3 weekly sales priorities, and it tells me my 3 weekly audience growth priorities here, my leverage priority, draft an automated email sequence for new leads interested in the 16-hour CEO. If I don't like the plan, I can just hit create a new plan. Now, next in your CEO dashboard is your weekly activities tracker. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to just track how many leads you got, how much money you made, follow-ups you sent, emails you sent, posts you made, so that we can track what you're actually doing to make sure that you are doing enough. One of the things that is just so prevalent with people who aren't hitting their targets is they're just not doing enough. Their offers aren't being seen enough, and they're just not getting in front of enough people. So this will keep you on track to make sure that you are doing the right things and getting in front of the right people and the right amount of people. Now, once you've been in the program for a while, you will be able to also generate a monthly CEO review. So it's going to track everything that you've put in here and give you a review for the month of what you actually did, and it will assess what you need to do going forward. Recommend the next move, again, that goes into the CEO focus, which we'll get to in a second. Your system includes the 4 main pillars, which are your visibility engine, the AI photo shoot studio, your distribution engine, which is the content multiplier, your thinking engine, which is the genius replicator, and your execution engine, which is your AI employees. And then you can go back in to any one of these systems when you desire. So now let's go over to the CEO focus and see what that's all about. This is what actually is going to move your revenue today. So you're going to do a little daily check-in here. It's just a few questions. So what are you trying to move forward today? Evergreen and scale my lunch for the 16-hour CEO. Okay, and you will just put in whatever it is that you have going on this week and what you want to promote. Okay, do you have an offer? Yes. 16-hour CEO. How many hours do you have to work a week? And this is actually per day, sorry. Let's do 4 hours. And let's generate my CEO focus. All right, so we have our focus for today based on my check-in and the answers that I put in there. It tells me exactly what to do. Identify 15 warm leads who have engaged with the 16-hour CEO offer. Send personalized outreach messages to each, directly addressing their specific needs and the offer solution. Access your ad platform. Review it. The 16-hour CEO campaign performance for the last 7 days. Pause the lowest performing 20% of ads. Increase daily budget by 10%. Guys, this is telling you exactly what to do. There is no excuse here. And these are the things that are actually going to move your business forward and make you money. Choose your top 3 powerful testimonials and case studies and adapt each into a short video or text post with a direct call to purchase. Now it's also giving me an optional leverage task. I can review the sales page, make sure that the sales page is working good, come up with the objections, and do all of these things on the back end as well. Tasks to avoid today: do not audit past content. Stop checking analytics without making immediate adjustments. Do not build new free content for future release. And our expected outcome is that these actions will drive direct sales conversations and optimize current promotional channels. Now, let's see it plan my day. All right, so now it's telling me exactly what to do with my 4 hours today. From 9 to 10:15 is when I'm going to do the lead outreach. I'm going to take a little break between 10:15 and 10:30. 10:30 to 11:30, I'm going to do the ad campaign review. And from 11:30 to 12:30, I'm going to do the testimonial content creation. Guys, this is it. It is telling you exactly what to do to make more money in your business. And you're able to do it very, very quickly because these systems are built in. So when it says write a sales page, you don't actually have to write a sales page from scratch. When it says to create 10 pieces of content, you don't actually have to create those 10 pieces of content from scratch. And you also have all of these amazing assets that you can use to support the daily tasks that it's giving you here. So now I'm going to go into the 4 systems and show you quickly how those work. So our first one is our AI twin system, which is housed in the AI photo shoot studio. So this is very self-explanatory, very easy. This is how you're going to create images that look like you. They're on brand, they're professional, they're luxe, they look really, really good, and they're so easy to create. So just following the system here, you are going to generate an AI image. So first thing you want to do is just upload a selfie. Now you can upload up to 5 images here, but I find that if you have 1 or maybe 2 really good images of yourself, that works best because then it doesn't get confused with different angles and different lighting and different filters and makeup. So I always just choose 1 really good photo, upload that. If you do have products, you can upload them here. If not, just leave that blank. Next, you're going to choose your shot style. So I typically keep mine at eye level, but you can change it to close up, a medium shot, a full body shot, a wide shot, a high angle, a low angle, whatever you want to do and whatever you want to create. Next, you're going to choose your content style. So your content style, these are based specifically on our industry and what works. So podcast interview setup, luxury brand vibe, coaching content, behind the scenes. You have all different kinds of options here. Now, with our prompts, you can do a couple different things to get prompts. One, once you choose the content style, you can actually have the app generate the prompts for you. I do like to do this just because the way that I have the prompt set up, it is going to ensure that the image looks just like you and just like the uploaded image. If you don't want it to generate for you and you already have a prompt, all you have to do is type in your prompt right in this box here. And now here are some of the prompts that it gave me. Let's see. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I'm just going to pick a random one. Another place that you can get prompts is from the prompt library. So in the prompt library, which I'll show you in a second, there's also prompts in there that you can literally copy and then paste them right into this box. Next, you're going to choose your aspect ratio. So basically your size. Do you want it a square? Do you want it for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube? So let's do Instagram here and generate the image. All right, so it generated our images. It's going to give you 2 outputs. So you may need to scroll up a little bit, but it's going to give you 2 outputs and you're just going to decide which ones you want to keep. In order to save these, all you have to do is click on them. If you don't click on them and you go to another tab or you refresh your screen, these are going to get lost. So make sure that you click on them to save them. And then what you'll see is they actually populate down here under your recent creations. Another place you could find them is going to be here in your saved content. This will be everything that you saved. Now let's quickly jump over to the prompt library because this is where you can also get prompts. And basically these are just ones that I have already pre-created. You can literally just copy and paste this into the image generator under prompt. Now we also have the prompt assistant. So this is another place where you can get an idea for a prompt. So maybe you have an idea for something and you're just like, I want to get a very custom prompt created. So let's go ahead and see what that is like. You're going to upload a reference image. That's optional. You can just put in what you want. But if you do have an image or you have an image of your product or a screenshot of something, you can also upload that here. So I'm just going to do this really quickly. I uploaded an image that I am using for the Doppelganger Challenge, which is basically a clone of me. I'm going to select my content type. So you can select personal brand, offer promo, authority content, or lifestyle content. So let's do offer promo here. choose your brand type. So whatever it is that fits most in this category for you: business coach, consultant, course creator, speaker, thought leader, podcast host, beauty brand, lifestyle brand, whatever one suits you best. And then choose the platform. We'll keep this one at Instagram. And this already populated just based on what was in here. So we're going to actually change that. And I'm going to say the digital doppelganger challenge is the offer. Okay. And then I'm going to give it some direction. I want an image of me cloned to represent the digital doppelganger challenge. And I'm just going to keep that. Target audience is optional, so I can put entrepreneurs here, or you can just leave it out. And now we're going to generate custom prompts. So it's going to give you a variety of different prompts that you will then be able to just drop back into the image generator, and then it will essentially deliver that custom prompt for you. So this is going to take maybe about 30 seconds to a minute to generate. Just give it a little bit of time, and then you'll see your prompts generate underneath. All right, our prompts are ready. So we have a ton of different prompts that we can choose from here. It gives me 12 different prompts. So I'm just going to choose one for time's sake, and you can either hit the copy button so that you can paste it in manually over there, or you can just hit use in image generator, and it's going to bring you back over to the image generator. I kind of leave everything here the same. I will re-upload selfie so that it actually does look like me. I'm going to leave everything the same here. The prompt, as you can see now, is already populated. Choose your aspect ratio or your size, and we are going to generate the image and see what our custom prompt assistant created for us. All right, let's see the images it created. I'm not sure about this one, but let's go ahead and save this one. Let's see what that looks like. I would go back in, obviously be looking specifically at the prompts to make sure that they make sense. These are some of the other ones that I created when I did a similar prompt. So again, you can always go back in, edit the prompt. Maybe you want to change the outfits, maybe you want to change the background, things like that. Just always make sure that you have your selfie or selfies uploaded so that it looks like you. Now, the last thing in the AI Photo Shoot Studio is your caption generator. I'm not going to spend too much time here. Pretty self-explanatory. You upload a photo or a reference image. You give a short description of what the content is. You get to choose what platform you want to be on: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Threads. You choose a tone, bold, conversational, thought leader, whatever makes sense for you. And then you're going to choose a length for your caption, and it will generate a caption for your image. Now let's move on to the content multiplier. This is where you will take one long form piece of content and turn it into multiple content assets without rewriting everything from scratch. So this is where we get to take your genius and literally turn it into omnipresence across all channels. So first thing you want to do is upload your brand voice document. So either copy and paste some writing samples in here, or upload a file that has your writing samples, your ideal client and offer information. So you're going to want to put what your offer is. Again, either copy and paste it in here or upload, and then the long form piece of content that you have either written. If it's a podcast, get the transcript for the podcast. If it's a YouTube video, get a transcript for the YouTube video. Okay, so I went ahead and pasted everything in here, and I would just recommend having these docs ready so that you can always have them and in your voice, your ideal client, your offers, things like that. What I am going to do now is choose which content assets I want. So depending on what platforms you're on, you can choose the specific platform that you want to repurpose your content on. So I'm going to go ahead and select all, but you may not be using all of them. Mine's going to create a Substack article, a humor post, a LinkedIn post, Instagram carousel, Instagram story slides, a broadcast email, TikTok script, Facebook post, YouTube video script, B-roll reel, X/Threads post, and a Pinterest post. So again, if you aren't using all of these, you just are going to choose whatever ones you want, and we're going to generate that. So this, again, just be patient, maybe about 30 seconds to a minute, and you will have from one long form piece of content at least 12 to 15 to 20 pieces of content created from that one long form piece of content, which is going to be your content and your visibility for the entire week. And then all you have to do is schedule that into your social media scheduler and or pass it off to your VA. This is my recommendation, and have her schedule this out onto your social media platforms. All you have to do each week is come up with that long form piece of content, whether it's a blog article, whether it is a podcast, or whether it is a short 15 to 20 minute YouTube video. All right, here we go. Here is our core content assets. So I have a ton of stuff here because I chose all of them, and you will see that you can just easily, copy and or save whatever ones you want to use. So it does give me a little summary on the key ideas. Here's my Facebook post. It actually gives me 3 Facebook posts based on 3 different formats: the hook story shift CTA, the hook mistake fix CTA, and the hook story lesson CTA. I have my Instagram carousel here that I could just pop into Canva. I have my TikTok script here. I have LinkedIn posts. I think it gives me 2 LinkedIn posts. I have multiple one-liners that I can use for Threads, X, or even on Facebook in those little colored posts. Your Instagram story slides, a humor post, which is a meme, and a Pinterest post if you're using Pinterest. I have my email that's going out for the week, and I have my Substack article and or blog post. So this is gold. This is all done for you. Oh, I also have reels. Again, choose which ones you want, either copy or save here. And now your visibility is done for the entire week. This is the content multiplier. Now let's move on to the Genius Replicator. The Genius Replicator is where we turn your ideas, frameworks, and methods into a copy and paste AI assets, either for custom GPTs or for Claude skills, depending on which platform you are using and what you're creating. This is gold. This is going to get your message and your gifts out to the world in a way that is replicatable, that you can use to either support your business or you can use as an asset. You can sell these. You can do so many things with these. I'm not going to get too into detail with that. I just want to show you how it actually works. So the first thing we're going to do is, what are you building? Are you building an AI assistant, something simple like a bullet point generator, a meal prep calendar, something along those lines? An AI employee, which is your actual worker, a copywriter, an assistant, a research analyst, something along those lines. Maybe you want to package your framework. So you have a specific framework that you want to package. You can do that in here. Perhaps you want to do a lead magnet, maybe a course support. So if you already have a course and you want to implement Claude skills or custom GPTs into your course, you can do that here. And a mini me coach, which is basically all of your knowledge, all of your gifts, everything that you bring to the table into an AI app. So I'm just going to choose lead magnet here, and I'm going to continue. And then it asks you which ones you want to build it on. So custom GPT or a Claude skill. Let's go with custom GPT. And then we are going to just answer a few different questions here. GPT name, a short description, what does it help with, and who is it for? Pretty straightforward. So let me go ahead and fill those in really quickly. All right, so I'm doing this really quickly, but yours obviously will be more in depth. So you are going to give the GPT a name. I'm doing a lead generator for coaches, the short description. It helps coaches identify how to create leads for their business and how this AI should help. And here's where you're going to want to just be really specific with the tasks, the questions, the outputs, all of that stuff. I do have a template that you can follow so that you can just literally fill that out and then copy and paste it into the 16-hour CEO dashboard here. User tells app how many new leads it wants to bring into the business and what current lead generation is like, what it is doing. The app gives suggestions on what to do to bring in more leads. Who is it for? Online entrepreneurs with inconsistent leads and revenue. So you're going to just fill in those questions. Next, you're going to do a little bit more details and information. And the reason why is because we're actually building a tool. We're building an app that is going to be used inside your custom GPT or inside Claude skills. It's going to be used in your business. It's going to be used to help support your business, to support your clients, and can also be used as product. So there are going to be more things here that you want to enter. I'm going to go ahead and do that ahead of time with all of these things. You're going to have your quick win, your target audience, background notes, key data and concepts, and any examples or reference materials. This will be specifically for your frameworks and things where you're actually really teaching people how to do something. So we'll go ahead and hit continue here. Now we're going to add our voice so that it knows how to create it specifically for our brand. So you will have your step-by-step instructions here, your style and personality specifications. Again, I would always just have my voice document ready to go, and you can pop that right in here. write in my voice. Maybe you want to just do some additional notes saying how you speak, you use contractions, curse a little bit, whatever that is, you're going to pop that in there and then hit continue. Okay. Now, finally is your guardrail. So these are going to be things that you never want it to say in the outputs of your custom GPT or your Claude skill. So disallowed words and phrases. I would put things in here like unlock your potential. The truth is, so anything that is annoying to you or that you just would never say. Disallowed action over specific things like do not make income claims. We'll put that in there. Anything specific to your niche. Okay. And now with your database, you are going to want to add samples of your real writing, video and audio transcripts, written training, step-by-step documentation, your formulas and frameworks, and your FAQs. So you're going to want to have all of this. Again, there's detailed trainings for this in the actual 16-hour CEO. I'm just giving you a walkthrough of how easy it is for you to generate a custom GPT and or Claude skill. So with all of that information, it's basically going to generate the exact template that you're going to go into Claude skills or you're going to go into OpenAI, and you are literally going to copy and paste this entire thing and add your knowledge base, which is all your uploaded documents and videos, things like that. And boom, you have your custom GPT instructions right here. You will just copy that. You can also save it if you want. And now you are ready to go with replicating your genius in multiple different ways. Now let's move on to our AI employees. So these employees are already built and they are based on what I know is needed for your coaching or expert business, your course creator business. After 13 years of working online, hiring these actual employees, humans, and just knowing what it takes to have the back end work. So sales page writers, graphic designers, video creators, email writers, funnel creators. So you have access to 9 employees. And what this tab is going to do is actually help you find out where your business still depends on you and get you matched with that right AI support for your business. So we're just going to answer a couple different questions here. So step 1 is to answer these 2 questions. Which parts of your business currently rely on you the most? Let's say content creation, marketing strategy, and video content. Okay, where do things pile up, slow down, or wait for you to shut down? Just answer these very truthfully. Where do you get tripped up? Where do you spend the most time? What takes a long time? What would you rather not be spending your time on, but you find yourself doing a lot? Client invoices. Let's see. Images. Image creation. So anything here that, like I said, is taking you a long time to do, slows you down, or that typically is only being done by you, you're going to want to put that in here. Now, next, you are going to type in what recurring task you personally handle every week. Now, for most of us, that's pretty much everything. So you might have some repeat things here. DMs, sending client invoices, checking emails, booking calls, booking podcasts, sending emails, creating funnels. So we have typically a lot of stuff in here because we are wearing all of the hats. And just hit continue here. These are some of our AI employees right there. And what would be the biggest sense of relief right now? So out of the 3 that you chose, what is like the top priority? What's the thing that if you could get this off your plate or at least get some significant help in this area that you would be able to move forward and you would feel a lot more relief and feel like you're getting a lot more done? So let's just go ahead with content creation. And now what it's going to do, it is going to match you with one of the 9 already created employees that are based on 13 years of experience running an online business. So you're going to get a founder bottleneck diagnosis. Mine says you are not just a CEO. You are the chief operator for almost all revenue generating and administrative tasks. This is a model built for personal execution, not strategic growth. Your direct involvement in every detail from content creation to invoicing clients creates a significant internal bottleneck directly impeding your business's ability to scale. Isn't that the truth? So my highest founder dependency areas are really the ones that I chose: content creation, marketing strategy, and video content. And now it's giving me 3 suggested employees that I should start with. The first one is Selena, the social media content creator, and she writes social content that sounds like you and helps you stay visible without sounding robotic, generic, or like every other coach online. Tells me why it fits my situation, what she's best for, and what to bring to the table when I'm using Selena. And you will just be able to click this button and use this employee right in ChatGPT. Now, obviously, your suggestions or your matches are going to be different than mine, but it's going to be the same. You get the description of what the employee does, why it fits your situation, what it's best for, what you bring to the table, and then use this employee in chat. And it also gave me Vicky, the video vixen. It also gives me a little before and after of what my business looks like now versus what it will look like after I start to implement these employees. So how cool is that? So now let's move on to some extra little bonuses that we have inside of the 16-hour CEO. You have your weekly reflection, which is pretty cool. You get to basically review your week honestly. You track everything that you did, answer a few questions, and you get a CEO score with specific feedbacks. Now, this is something a lot of people skip, and it's the reason why they don't grow. They don't know what is actually moving the needle in their business. They aren't tracking what is actually working and what's not working. So they end up spending a lot of time on things that don't make them money, that stopped working a really long time ago, and they're not putting their energy forward into the things that would actually grow the business and bring in the clients. I'm just going to do this quickly so you can see what it's like. So our activity numbers, let's say we booked $2,500 in revenue. We generated 15 leads. We sent 10 follow-ups, 10 sales posts. We sent 5 emails. Lead generation actions, 5. Leverage task, 3. What went well this week? I booked $2,500 in new business. Got the 16-hour CEO app completed. Sent out campaign to interested leads. What stalled or didn't happen? Did not finish the sales page for the 16-hour CEO. Got behind on promotions for all right. And then it also is going to ask you what pulled you off your CEO focus priorities. So just be really honest here so that you can get something that actually reflects what is actually going on in your business. So I'm just going to put in here personal things kept me distracted and took my focus away from work. This could also be I got sick. My kid got sick. So again, there's just so many things that can pull us away from completing the things that we want to complete. And in this weekly reflection, you are not only going to get a score, but you are also going to get recommendations for what you can change and shift so that you can have a better week next week. So just hit the button that says generate weekly reflection and CEO scores. Wait a few seconds. Here we go. I got my weekly reflection and an actual weekly CEO score. Okay, so I didn't do as well as I wanted to this week, but this is based on the truth, what I actually tracked, what actually happened in my business. And when you reflect on this on a regular basis, this is what actually allows you to grow in your business and make the changes required to hit those targets, hit those goals, make the money that you want. So my revenue activity was high this week. My sales posts and emails drove significant revenue. The main offer sales page remains unfinished, and my personal issues disrupted focus. So I have a 74 out of 100, which is a mixed week. Revenue activity was strong, but incomplete deliverables and distractions limited overall impact. This presents consistent growth. So it's going to give you for each of the main categories, your revenue activities, your audience growth, your leverage, and your focus, different scores based on those things. What pulled the score down? The 16-hour CEO sales page was not completed. Personal matters pulled focus from business priorities. It tells me what to improve next week. Complete the 16-hour CEO sales page as a top priority. Structure your week to protect your time for critical business tasks. And it even tells me what I can do to improve. Your next jump in score will come from increasing daily sales activity and replacing manual work with leverage. Amazing. Okay, so now I know exactly what I need to do next week to have a better week and hopefully drive more sales. Now, the next thing is your monthly CEO review. So once you've been a part of the 16-hour CEO for at least 30 days, you can actually get a very similar review and report based on what you did monthly. You will track your revenue goal, how much you made, your offers that you sold, your lead sources, and again, just honestly answering these questions, like what did you actually promote, what did you actually sell, what created results, what felt like a waste of time, what do you feel like was the biggest bottleneck? When you can answer these very truthfully and honestly, you can actually start to shift your business and start moving it in the right direction to create more money and more growth in your business. And the final thing I want to share with you is your AI advantage. Your AI advantage is the education hub, I guess you would say. And because AI is consistently changing, we are going to have different tutorials right in here, updated tutorials, so you can learn to do different things outside of our 4-part system here, which includes the AI twin method, the content multiplier, the genius replicator, and the AI employees. So as you can see, this page is still loading up, but you will also have some additional trainings in here so that you can stay up to date with what's going on with AI, and you can actually do some pretty cool things. So these are actually tutorials on how to create additional things with AI. So that is the 16-hour CEO, your new business operating system, where your content, systems, and execution come together so that your business keeps moving even when you don't. This is not only going to save you time, this is going to save you effort, this is going to save you money, this is going to make you money, this is going to make your business so much easier. It's going to make your business grow so much faster because you're actually looking at what's happening within the business, how can I shift and change it, and then you have the systems to support you and help you and back those tasks up that are actually going to drive the business forward, that are actually going to have you moving in the direction of really spending the biggest amount of your time on those money making activities so that you're not wasting time, so that you're not stalling, so that you are not staying stuck in the same place in your business month after month, year after year. So if you know you need this, you're going to want to join us inside the 16-hour CEO. This is where you become the best entrepreneur you can be and create a business that doesn't rely solely on you. I'll see you inside.